Hey everybody, today we are going to be drawing a lion, and we want to make sure that our paper when we start is turned the tall way so we have plenty of room to draw the lion's head and his body underneath. We're going to start by making a big U shape that comes down and comes back around. But we need to make sure that we leave at least 3 fingers of space at the top so we have room for his ears and his mane. So I'm going to start about 3 fingers down, and I'm going to make a little dot right there. That way I know I'm coming down from there. And I'm going to make a U shape, big U shape, and back around just like that, and stop about 3 fingers from the top again. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add his ears. So we're going to make an ear on this side and an ear on this side of his head. So I'm going to go up and around. And this one's going to come up and around the opposite way. Just like that. We're going to connect those right in the middle. We can put the inside of his ears in, so I'm going to make a smaller U shape, but this time I'm going to close the bottom, just like that. And another small U shape inside of this one. That looks pretty good. All right, we're going to move down to the bottom of his face, and we're going to work a little bit on his nose. And I want to be pretty close to the bottom of his face when I start this. I don't want to be way up here. So I'm going to come down to the bottom, and I'm going to make a horizontal line going across like this. And then I'm going to bring his nose down into a triangle shape. So I'm going to bring it down into a point. I'll finish that off with just a little line in the center coming down. Now this is his nose, and we want to make it look like he has a snout. So on either side of his nose, we're going to add a curve going out. So starting on the corner of his nose here, I'm going to curve it out here. And then I'll start on the corner of his nose over here, and I'll make it curve out to the other side. And that makes him look like he's got a snout. Now when you color it, you're going to want to color that nose in, but for right now we're going to leave that nose white. We're going to add the top part of his snout that goes up towards the top of his head. So I'm going to start up at the top of his head, and this time I'm going to come down and touch the corner of his nose. We're aiming for that corner on his nose, so I'm going to bring this line down and hit the corner of his nose. And then I'm going to do that again. Move over just a little bit and come down and aim for the corner of his nose. And there you can see his snout. On either side of his snout, we're going to add his little eyeballs. So I'm going to go ahead and make a small circle. And I'm going to leave a reflection in this one. So I'm going to go ahead and make another small circle, but I'm not going to color it in yet because remember, we don't color with our pencils and we don't color with Sharpies. So I'm going to go ahead and add another eyeball on this side. And I'll put another little reflection, but I'm not going to color it in. All right, we're going to turn this into a male lion, so we're going to add a mane going all the way around, and we're going to do that with a zigzag line. So starting anywhere around his head, we're going to start making a zigzag. I'm going to start over here by his ear, and I'm going to make my zigzag line come all the way around. And I don't have a ton of space at the top, so I'm going to make it a little shorter maybe at the top. And then as I get around to this side, I can make those zigzags a little bit bigger. And I'm going all the way around his head. I'm going to come on this side and come around. Again, we do not color with our pencils or our Sharpies, so we haven't colored any of this in yet. Nice and neat. There we go. That looks like a nice lion. Now I'm going to work on his body. So we're going to bring his body down from the bottom of his mane, and we're going to touch the bottom of our paper. Some of you might have a longer body, and some of you might have a shorter body, depending on how much space you have. But we want to make sure we come from the mane all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to start way up here, and I'm going to make a line that goes all the way down and touches the bottom edge of my paper. And then I'm going to start up here again and come all the way down and touch the bottom of my paper. Now we're going to turn this into 2 front legs. So I'm going to come in about 2 fingers, and I'm going to bring my line up about that far. I guess that's about 2 fingers up too. And I'm going to do that on the same thing on the other side, about 2 fingers in, and bring that line up. Then we can go ahead and connect those. Now this is just his front legs, and I want to show his back legs a little bit too. We're not going to show the whole thing, but we want to show a little bit of it. So back here on the left side, not over here, we're going to make just a small line that's a little bit up from the bottom of the page, and then that's going to go up till it hits that front part of his body. We're going to do that same thing for his back leg over here. We're going to go out just a little bit, but this time when we go up, we're going to go all the way back up to where his mane is. All right, last little detail that we're going to add, we're going to make a few little toes on his front leg. You can add maybe just 1 toe on this leg. We can't see very much of it, so we're going to just add 1 like that. And that looks pretty good. If you want to add a tail, you can, but remember that you are going to be cutting these out, so it might be difficult to cut a tail out. So that looks great. All right, friends, I hope you enjoyed this one. You're going to spend the rest of your time coloring it in to make it look like a lion. Good job.